Blue are an English boy band consisting of members Antony, Costa, Duncan James, Lee Ryan, and Simon Webbe. The group originally formed in 2000 and has released 3 studio albums: All Rise in 2001, One Love in 2002, and Guilty in 2003. They're all peaked at number 1 in the United Kingdom alongside releasing 16 singles over a 4-year period. The group also worked alongside artists such as Stevie Wonder, Elton John, and Lil Kim. Blue have sold 15 million records worldwide, and just a few years later, all members of the group had declared themselves bankrupt. How did that happen, you wonder? Let's first go back to the start. How did the group actually first come about to be Blue? In May 1999, the young Lee Ryan, age 15, and Antony Costa, age 17, met while auditioning for a boy band on ITV's This Morning with Simon Cowell, putting a group together. Lee Ryan made it into the band, as did the 21-year-old Will Young, and for those who don't know Will Young, he went on to have his own solo successful career after winning Pop Idol in 2002. Unfortunately, the band never took off, but Lee Ryan and Antony Costa did remain friends. But still hungry and brewing for success, Lee and Costa got with his friend Duncan James and they decided to form a band. When they formed this band, they were soon joined by the young Lee Ryan. The boys got together and performed in front of Daniel Glatman, who went on to become their manager. Daniel Glatman was completely blown away, but all 4 of them agreed that something was missing. And having come to this agreement, they started auditioning for a 4th member. With the opportunity at present, Lee Ryan's roommate, Simon Webbe, swung his way into the auditions and completely nailed it. With Simon Webbe being black, he added a bit of diversity to the group, and mixing both colors together, a new color was born: Blue. I'm just playing. But the group as we all know it now, Blue, was formed. Blue started recording their debut album following their new lineup. They released their debut single, All Rise, in May 2001, and it reached number 4 on the UK singles chart. And just a few months later, their follow-up single, Too Close, was released in August 2001 and peaked at number 1. They just blew up. For a new band, they just... But of course you have to remember that at this point, they were still quite young and fame just sort of came overnight. And I'm sure they didn't expect the fame to come that quick. And of course it was obvious that there's a demand, there's a fan base for the boys, and production had to scale up a little bit. They decided to film a music video to Too Close in New York City the following month in September 2001. Whilst there, they did witness the attacks of the Twin Towers. And of course, them being celebrities and having witnessed such a tragedy, some newspapers interviewed the boys to ask them how they felt about the situation. And of course, the young Lee Ryan, chopping it up in the interview, he gave his honest opinion about the situation. And this is what he had to say. This New York thing is being blown out of proportion. What about the whales? They're ignoring animals that are more important. Animals need saving, and that's more important. Well, as you can imagine, that did not go well down with Americans or with anyone in general. And just like that, Blue was cancelled in America, that is. The band did end up losing a record deal in America, and they received a huge backlash from the media. But thank God that there was no social media at the time, otherwise they would have been cancelled worldwide. I mean, there were campaigns to at least sack Ryan from the group. But despite the media backlash, they did release their album in time for Christmas, All Rise, and it reached number 1. At this point, there's nothing slowing down Blue. They grew in popularity and they released 2 more studio albums. Both albums were well received by fans. They did incredibly well. But by 2005, at the peak of their career, they decided to go their separate ways. The group decided to announce a sudden hiatus. And their reason for this is that they wanted to focus on each their own solo careers. Unfortunately, their solo careers didn't take off musically, but they did have different side hustles to keep them going over the years. Nearly after 6 years, in 2011, the group announced their reunion. They did kick off their reunion in a big way. They represented the United Kingdom in the Eurovision Song Contest 2011 with their entry song, I Can. They came 11th place in the contest, scoring 100 points. They released their pop studio album Relay in 2013, which they self-funded themselves. Back in that same year, Duncan James, Antony Costa, and Simon Webbe all declared bankruptcy. Lee Ryan then later on became the final member to declare himself bankrupt. Their company Blue World Limited also went into liquidation. So it seemed like things just sort of went downhill real fast, real fast. This was obviously just a minor setback for the group, as By November 2014, they announced that they have signed a 2-album deal with Sony Music. And by March 2015, they released their 5th studio album, Colors. Unfortunately, the album underperformed, selling only 4,000 copies in its first week of release. Sony Music wasted no time, and by the following month, they had dropped them from the label. In 2017, the group went on to This Morning to promote their new book, Blue, or Riser's Story. And during this interview, they brought up their bankruptcy situation. And the group's response was basically that, listen, it's known that we were broke, but we had to declare ourselves bankrupt because the management team were trying to screw them over. So they revealed that it was more of a business decision and less of a financial decision.
Faced with that, as a company, we liquidated the company as we've written in the book, but then he went after each one of us because we were directors of the company individually for a lot of money, and in that case, you're kind of like, what do you do?
Yeah.
It's like, you know, no.
How long is it?
It was clear to see that the labels did not have one love for Blue. The management team definitely had no love for Blue. So Blue have currently got their love and took it to a boiler company.
It's easy to fall in love with an ideal boiler, especially the Ideal Vogue Max.
Being honest, the first time I saw this, I could not help but laugh. It's just, I guess it was just very unexpected. But I do love their hustle, that they will get that coin by all means necessary. And without a doubt, this is definitely not the last time we're hearing from Blue. For their work ethic and grind, I do give Blue one love for sure. They did promise a 6th studio album, so I'm sure we will be seeing Blue definitely sometime in the future. We will be back on our TV screens. Leave a comment and like. This is your boy Tonyxoriginalz. I'll see you in the next video. One love, y'all.
One love is all we need.